What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's having a great day. So today on the first gen, what we will be doing today is we will be doing a reverse level, which is just pulling a couple of the helper springs out of the rear leaf pack. So I'll set you guys up and let you guys see exactly how we do this, and then I'll explain everything in detail at the end. So guys, now that we're done, I'm going to run you over a little bit how we did this. So you just spin, all we had to do was just spin the 4 nuts off from the U-bolts, and then what we have here is these handy little jacks that run on our 4-post lift on either side of the runners, and then we just stuck us a big block on top of here, and then just went up against the hitch and just raised the rear of the truck and left the axle sitting on the runner. You can do this on the ground too with just a floor jack and go to your bumper, or not to your bumper but to your hitch, or you could probably go on the frame too. We did one side at a time just so we didn't have to deal with the axle trying to slide around. So you just raise it up until you have enough room, and I'll show you the pack that we pulled out. And then there's a bolt up in the middle here, and you gotta pull that bolt out, and then you have to work it out slowly, or not, however you're gonna do it. You have to work it out of there, kind of at an angle, wiggle it out, and raise up the truck, however you want to do that. And then we just left the shocks on, but you can pull them off if you want to make it a little easier. We just left them on, and then we had to manhandle them, shove them back up so we could get the nuts back on. So what we did is, when we had the U-bolts off, is we ran over them with a thread cleaner and cleaned all the threads up so the nuts wouldn't get messed up when we went back on, because we're going farther up the threads now that there's less leaves in here. So here are the leaf helper springs, whatever you want to call them, that we pulled out. As you can see, right here's this nut that I was talking about. You just gotta unthread the nut off the top of the bolt, and this bolt head was all rounded off, so we had to use a vice grips to pull that off. And then we just pulled both of those off, and it helped quite a significance in how the truck sits. So now you guys can see that this thing sits a whole lot more level than it was before. I mean, it still sits a little higher in the rear, but it's a whole lot better than it was. Now, we did measure it before and after, and before it was like 35 right to here, and now it's like 33.5. So we dropped 1.5 inches in the rear, which isn't a whole lot, but if you look at it, it looks a whole lot better. And now, like I said, it does still sit a little higher in the rear, but that's okay. I mean, it looks a whole lot better than it did, which is what we wanted. So guys, next thing we have going today is a transmission cooler line leak that I've mentioned before. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it has been spraying oil back, and I can see right these crimps here is they just ran a hose on there instead of using a hose clamp. It's just crimped. So what I'm going to try to do is just cut those off with a die grinder and just run a regular hose clamp on there, because I mean I can slide them on there and spin them on the hose. So I think it just needs to have a better clamp on it so it doesn't leak oil. So we're gonna get the die grinder out and start hacking them things off and seeing if we can make it better than it was from the factory. So guys, that didn't work out too good, just cutting those little crimps and then putting clamps on. So what we did is I had some extra 1/2-inch transmission line laying around, and I just went down there, down to the bottom, I don't know if you can see right at the front of the engine where the line's connected, and we just completely removed everything and put in all new line with new clamps on. So pretty much all we have to do yet is just wash it up, clean all the old oil off and all the shavings from trying to cut that fitting off, and then we should be good to go. So hopefully that takes care of our transmission leak. So all we have to do is clean it up, check the level and everything, make sure everything's good, and that'll about do it for that. So guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content.